davidfranco.com/ask. Whatever happened on that page? Well, nothing. It's still there. So, let's make it happen. Hey guys, David Franco here. davidfranco.com/ask, like I just said, is the page where you guys can post questions that you feel could turn into interesting video topics, such as today's video topic. And yes, I haven't been using the page all that much, but that doesn't mean it's dead. So please, I kindly ask you guys, post questions using that link right below. Make it happen. And plus, it's your chance to get free exposure for your YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LO. Nobody uses LO. Don't even talk about LO. Don't point fingers, that's rude. Seriously though, post questions please, because the more questions I get, the more videos I can make. So, anyway, today's question comes from Luke Peachman. Luke Peachman says, what do you think of the 2016 MacBook Pro? What are your opinions? I've got opinions, that's for sure. I definitely have opinions on the MacBook Pro, and I'm gonna look at this from both sides, fanboy and non-fanboy. I'm not an Apple fanboy, even if some people will say I am now. I will easily and gladly criticize Apple for some of the stupidest decisions they've made in the past and that they will make in the future. Because let's face it, no company is perfect. I mean, if you honestly think a company to be perfect, then you're fooling yourself. I mean, I love Apple. They're my favorite brand by far. I love them. I love their companies. I love their services. I love what they represent. But the 2016 MacBook Pro is definitely an excellent example of making bold choices. I guess that's the best way of putting it. First, they take off the headphone jack from the iPhone 7 Plus, which is literally a non-issue for me. Like, I don't miss it whatsoever. I can say that 100% confidence. I do not miss the headphones jack. Seriously, I don't. I'm just glad it's gone. I don't need it, but I know many people do, so I understand the criticism. So with this MacBook Pro, it certainly seems like Apple took away more than they added. So first of all, let's talk about the touch bar. And just to make something clear, yes, I have used the 2016 MacBook Pro in person. So these aren't blind facts. This isn't blind criticism or anything like that. So the touch bar, I used it. I was impressed by it. I was impressed by the performance. I was impressed with the display, how it looked, how it felt. I mean, it was quick and responsive. And it actually has multi-touch, which is actually really impressive for a strip. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. But is it necessary? I gotta say, as of today, no. It's kind of like 3D touch on the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 7. It's a feature that I think you need to learn to use over time and to work into your everyday workflow. Because I will say 3D touch, I can't imagine an iPhone without 3D touch now. That's how used to it I am. I mean, I use it every single day. Sure, it saves me, what, 1 second, 2 seconds of time? But those 1 or 2 seconds add up, guys. But could the touch bar on the MacBook Pro actually save you time in your workflow? I don't know. That completely comes down to your experience and to your workflow. It does. I mean, personally speaking, I don't think it's going to have a dramatic impact on my work. I mean, I will say it was really cool using it for Final Cut Pro 10 and scrubbing the timeline, especially when zoomed in with my weekend vlogs. That could be useful, but I don't see it being necessary. But just like 3D touch, I think it could take some time for Apple to make better use of it. As ironic as that sounds, it's their own hardware. But hey, it's the truth. It's going to take time. And same goes for the third-party developers. So give it time. I don't know if it's going to be around like 4 years from now. But like I said, give it time. Give it a chance. And while I still think it's too early to judge. And by the way, I'm looking at my notes here. All right, let's talk about USB-C. Apple pretty much killed all traditional USB ports on the MacBook Pro. I laugh because it's ironic. It's just, again, they're taking away more than they're adding. But, and I'm being completely fair when I say this, as a technology geek at heart, just like you, I expect things to change eventually. I mean, guys, when Apple took away the 30-pin connector from their iOS devices, people freaked out. People freaked out, and for good reason. But me, I didn't give a shit. I was like, I don't see what the big deal is. Change the port eventually. I mean, everything has to change at some point. And Apple is one of those companies who gladly changes things before other companies do. Again, headphones jack. Not a big deal, but they did it anyway. The Lightning port, I think, will eventually become USB-C, but not for a few years. So anyway, talking about the MacBook Pro. Yes, they took away USB 3.0 and replaced all those ports with USB-C. All of them. Okay, so they could have left one USB 3.0 ports just to make people feel comfortable. But then again, Apple's kind of an all-in or nothing company. They don't want to look back. They're a very forward-thinking, visionary type company. That's a good word, visionary. So I don't think Apple's afraid to make choices. Clearly, I mean, they did it. People are revolting, but they'll get over it. And if it's really that big of a deal, then sell the MacBook Pro and get a 2015 MacBook Pro. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that model. And actually, you can still buy a MacBook Pro, a brand new one, without the touch bar. So really not a big deal in my eyes. And I actually embrace USB-C. I mean, I use, one external hard drive, which is currently USB 3, which is fine. I can just take the cable off, put the new cable on, boom. I suddenly have a USB-C hard drive. Awesome. Now, in regards to my SD card, I am so used to plugging it into my MacBook Pro, and I definitely think that's a huge mistake. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Apple, I definitely think you made a mistake in that regard. You need to have an SD card slot on a Pro machine. Yes, you can plug in an adapter, which I do anyway for certain things, like my micro SD card on my GoPro. I plug that in. But my regular SD card, such as my Canon 80D and my camcorder and my Canon G7X, all those cameras do use standard size SD cards. So I especially enjoy the convenience of just plugging that SD card in, importing, and not have to worry about some kind of adapter or dongle. Now let's talk about the MagSafe. This is a love-hate thing. I love MagSafe because I think it was, a week or two ago, I was moving things around in my office, imagine that, and I accidentally tripped over the cord because I was walking all over the place or whatever, but that cord came flying out and my MacBook Pro was fine. Now, if that was USB-C, there's no guarantee that cable would have stayed in. It could have pulled it and, I don't know, damaged it or whatever. But it didn't because it uses MagSafe. Now, I said love-hate for a reason, because there's times where I want to use my MacBook Pro on my lap while the MagSafe cable is plugged in. And that's definitely annoying because I have to place it just right because it comes out a little too easily sometimes. So in a way, I would like to use USB-C to charge my MacBook Pro because you can put it on either side. Every single USB-C port on the new 2016 MacBook Pro is capable of charging. And I think that's cool. That may not be a big deal to some people, but for someone like me who enjoys convenience and not have to worry about the cable falling out on my lap, that's pretty cool. That's cool. So again, love-hate. It easily goes both ways. Alright, I talked about the lack of SD card. Increased price is a turnoff. Yes, and it's one of the primary reasons why I've yet to upgrade, because I am perfectly happy with my 2015 MacBook Pro. The screen is beautiful. The 13-inch form factor is great. It's not an overall thick machine. I mean, it doesn't feel old. It feels modern as hell. It's fast as hell. Like, that SSD is just insane. It exports videos like that. It's faster than my 2013 Mac Pro. So that tells you something. And I just love it. It's my workstation on the go. It allows me to do my office work while not being in my office. And that's a huge deal to me. And that's exactly why I have not sold my 2015 MacBook Pro yet. Because I feel I don't need the 2016 MacBook Pro. And guys, believe me, I can see where Apple's going in this direction. Again, things need to change at some point, and Apple's doing it right now. So 2 to 3 years from now, I guarantee you, you're not going to be saying, USB-C, I need an SD card slot. No, because by then, things are going to be easier. And well, let's face it, if you can afford a notebook that's essentially costing you over $2,000, chances are pretty damn good buying an adapter or a dongle or two, it's not really going to be that big of a deal for your financial situation. Let's just put it that way. Because come on, Apple products, they're not cheap. Apple users like you and myself, we're used to paying a premium. So my final thoughts, I give them props for making changes, thinking ahead. It's just going to take a little while for those changes to mature. That's all. So there you go. Those are my opinions on the 2016 MacBook Pro. Luke Peachman, thank you again for that question. Unfortunately, you did not link your YouTube or anything, but if you want anything linked below, let me know, message me privately, and I will make that happen. So guys, where are your questions? Come on, keep them coming. Keep them coming, because like I said, the more questions I can get, the more videos I can make. Because I'm not going to lie, this time of year is a little slow. I'm waiting until March 3rd to really pump out a lot of videos about the Nintendo Switch. So the more questions I can get, the better. That is linked right below for your convenience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And well, I suppose I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.